super mega giga indicator that is able to accurately predict every bust and the duration of each bust before it happens, and will accurately show you exactly when and how long we are going to remain in maximum bust mode. And it's even bigger than you could ever imagine. And in this video, we're gonna stick to only the facts, no sugarcoating, no goo goo gaga emotional baby bullshit, but the facts, the truth, and you guessed it, only the facts. While everyone is talking about the Bitcoin spot ETF, there is something absolutely gargantuan, and it should give you more confidence than ever, and it's a chart that is able to accurately predict basically exactly where we are in the cycle, the tops, the lows, even how long it can last. And that's what we're going to be jumping into to start off this video. So if you're bullish but deep down know that you simply can never be bullish enough, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and let's absolutely dump into potentially one of the most life-changing things you will literally ever see. So this chart right here is the entire cryptocurrency market cap. And one indicator, the ASO right here I have on the bottom of the screen, is able to exactly predict basically the switcheroo to maximum bust mode, exactly also showing us kind of exactly how long these bust modes last, and even the tops, bottoms of this market. So if we go back to November of 2015, when we had this first initial cross, basically when the blue crosses above the red is, or basically the red crosses below the blue, red going down, blue going up, it marks the beginning of basically maximum bust mode. Now this itself does not predict the exact top and bottom. That is something else. But you can see here, when we get this cross, which we did back in November of 2015, it marked the very beginning of the bull run for the entire cryptocurrency market. And when we saw the blue cross below the red and the red cross above the blue, about exactly a little over 1,000 days later, in September of 2018, it basically marked the bear market. And we even saw during that time, a relief rally, but these did not cross bullish here, right? You see this rally here that happened in summer of 2019. This indicator was not saying, hey, it's time to be bullish just yet. However, in August of 2019, we did get this cross yet again on the cryptocurrency market chart. And Bitcoin, the entire cryptocurrency market was around $220 billion of valuation, the entire market. We got this cross. We traded sideways for multiple months. And we actually, because of how dumpy the March crash of 2020 that brought the stock market, crypto, everything down, because of how dramatic that was, it actually almost gave us a bearish cross, but we didn't get it, right? It actually still worked back during this massive dumpulation back here. And as you see, 1,000 days later, in May of 2022 is when we got it, the blue cross below the red and the red cross above the blue, and this was the bearish, the end of this cycle. So realistically, again, exactly 1,000 days later, gave you a lot of time, and you can see we entered, pretty bearish territory here. You saw it really start to collapse and cross. So realistically, you could have looked at this and thought, okay, I mean, very likely we're about to enter bearish territory after we started this cross to the downside. Now, keep in mind also, this blue line does run up to about the 80 to 83 on the ASO indicator each time to mark a top. So that's a huge thing to look at. It has gone up to about 80 to 83, 84, 85-ish on this ASO to mark the top of these bull markets on the monthly chart every time. If we look where we currently are right now, it's actually around 68 or 70. When we were at that same level back in the last bull market, Bitcoin still had, about another year or so of busting. And when we got it also the last time before that was back April of 2016, when Bitcoin was only $8, the entire cryptocurrency market was only $8 billion of valuation, and it ran all the way up to $740 billion of valuation in December of 2017. So here we are as well. We got this same exact signal back in the summer of 2023. And the crazy part is, out of this 1,000 day, roughly, bull cycle, out of this 1,000 day time period, we're only about 150 or so days into this. And this is the best way, the perfect way, in my opinion, to really show us where we are in this cycle, how early we actually are as well. Because we are extremely early. In my opinion, we have probably until, in my opinion, I want to say Q2 to Q3 of 2025. Whereas it could even get pushed back a little. It could push all the way out to even the summer of 2026. But as you can see on this chart, really by the time the 1,000 days are over, the top has already been put in closer to more like the 700 or 800 day mark, 850 day mark, which for us would be right around June, July, August of 2025. So Q2, Q3 of 2025 is when I think this market is going to be heading into a bigger dump or a more bearish trend. Now, what does that mean? That means we have hundreds of days left where we have not seen most of the gains of this market. In fact, absolutely, we have not. Now, another huge thing about this is that the tops are usually put in, if we look at this chart, when this red line gets down to about between the 17 to 15 range on the ASO. Currently, we're actually about 32. And as I said, basically last time we were at this level on these charts, the bull market was just beginning, right? A lot of time left. 150 or so days into a roughly 1,000 day bull market, or roughly, in my opinion, as I just said, the top being put in around 800 or so days, with the remaining 200 days kind of being a slow bleed before the actual bull market. And so, yes, this also exactly shows the exact same thing on just the Bitcoin chart itself. The exact same data, exact same things are showing up on just Bitcoin's chart, and they have historically done the same thing as well. Going even, because the Bitcoin chart actually goes back further, going all the way back to 2012, the exact same thing has happened. So while the Bitcoin ETF, the Bitcoin halving, all of these things are very exciting, ultimately, when we look at where crypto and Bitcoin is, this chart, I think, is the best illustration of still how early you are of this bull cycle, in this bull cycle. So much room left. We haven't really seen anything yet. And to me, this chart really just illustrates how early we are and how bullish I think we have yet to see this market get. Now, zooming in a little bit on Bitcoin's chart as well, even the 4-hour chart. Initially, we had this breakout just at the beginning of last week, brought all the way back down, but immediately brought back in here. We've been actually holding the top of this symmetrical triangle for support as well and having a little bit of a bounce. Many people are expecting a Bitcoin spot ETF to be approved in just about 48 hours, which is gigantic. Bitcoin is still holding on the 21-day moving average. I personally do not think that this price action is priced in for Bitcoin. I don't think that the bust is priced in. In fact, if we start seeing people, move their portfolios into Bitcoin via some of these Bitcoin spot ETFs, how could it be priced in, right? That's the silliest thing. I see, in fact, one of the craziest things to me is I see so many people still in the comments thinking or saying things like, I've been hearing about the Bitcoin spot ETF for years. This one's just going to get, delayed or denied just like all the other ones. Guys, have you not been paying attention at all? Never in the history of this market have all of these Bitcoin ETFs been filed. Has there been a lawsuit that the SEC lost against the Bitcoin spot ETF specifically? Has there been so much discussion between the SEC and all of these Bitcoin spot ETF filers? You just have to have your head in the sand to think that nothing new is happening right now, okay? It's only a matter of time anyway before these Bitcoin spot ETFs get approved. But if you're genuinely delusional enough to think that this is exactly the same as in 2013 or 2018 in terms of a Bitcoin spot ETF approval, you literally have to have your head so far up your butt that you have no idea what's actually going on, okay? There's absolutely no guarantee that the Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved this week, but the chances of it getting approved are infinitely higher than they were at any other point in the history of these markets over the last 14 or so years. Okay, it's crazy to me how many people are so emotionally biased simply because they listen to the bear boys calling for 10K, where they're so angry that they don't have bags right now that they just are completely delusional. And that's really all it boils down to. All of these people that I read comments from of people saying, oh, look at you, you think there's going to be a Bitcoin spot ETF. Are you literally okay? Like, are you okay? Is there something going on up there? Or are you just living in a fantasy world? It's completely mind-blowing. These are the same people that were also saying 10K for the last 12 months, and they could not be more wrong. I'm sick of people that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about trying to spread misinformation. Get a clue, okay? You're ridiculous. You're completely full of baloney. If you're watching this and it makes you upset, you're the issue, okay? Work on yourself. Work on your brain. If we look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin as well, clearly we've gotten this golden cross. Absolutely massive for Bitcoin. I'm not counting on a pullback. As I've been saying over and over, if we get a Bitcoin spot ETF approved this week, I don't know if we're going to get a massive pump, dump, or everything in between. It's not important in the short term. Long term, I absolutely think we're going to do exactly what I spent the first half of this video talking about, which is Giga bull mode for the next 12 to 18 months, okay? Massively. This is gigantic. Bitcoin's daily chart as well. My gosh, it's kind of beautiful to see so far at this point. Look at this. We've had one of our most massive dumps just 5 days ago on the 3rd, and immediately it was bought back up. And for weeks, I was telling you that if we see something like that, where we get a quick flash crash, but then in the same daily candle, half of it is a giant wick, meaning it got bought back up, that's very bullish. I was saying that for months, and we saw a day like that. And it's really just showing the strength of this market. And if we actually see spot ETF approvals, over time, this will also add strength to this market. And that's more so the more important thing underlying all of this is this chart right here. All of this bullishness that is caked in, just pretty much following the 4-year cycle. Just completely ginormous. And sign up with Femex or BitGet below. It takes 30 seconds to sign up if you're interested in buying Bitcoin, cryptos, trading, anything. Amazing bonuses as well if you sign up with the link in the description and the comments below. Without further ado.